This is the Seven Figure Agency Podcast. Discover the strategies and techniques to grow a highly successful and profitable digital marketing agency with your host, Josh Nelson.
What's up, digital marketing agencies? On today's video, I want to talk about my 3 favorite books on operations and scale. Really, when we think about how to grow and scale our digital marketing agency, I talk a lot on this channel about landing clients, delivering world-class results, retaining our clients at the highest level possible. But truly, to create more freedom in our business, we've got to get good at creating systems, procedures, processes, hiring, firing, and there's been some books that have had a huge impact on how I think about those areas within my business. And so I'm going to unpack my 3 favorites. I highly recommend you check all of these out. The first is The E-Myth Revisited by Michael E. Gerber. I say 3, I'm actually going to count this one as a prerequisite. I think every entrepreneur, every business owner has either read or should read The E-Myth Revisited. The thing about this book, it's a very, very entertaining. It's got lots of examples. And it's very practical, but the basic gist, the basic outcome that you'll get from this book is that if you want to build a successful business, agency or not, you're just building a business, you have to work on the business and not in the business, right? And most of us, digital marketing agency owners, start because we got good at building websites, or we got good at doing funnels, or we got good at whatever it is that we do, doing SEO. And we wear the hat of the technician, the person that does the work. And we're like, you know what, I'm gonna get a job, and so my job's gonna be, I'm gonna start a business and I'm gonna do that work for my clients. Well, the reality is, as outlined in the E-Myth, if you're doing the work, you don't have a business, you just have a job. And it's usually a pretty low paid, frustrating job. And so the main outcome is, think of yourself as the owner. And the owner builds systems, procedures, team, and sales processes, and then lets other people do the work. And so it's a prerequisite because it doesn't actually talk to you about how to do that or walk you through how to put that in place. But if you start with that end in mind, I want a real business and not just a job, that's a game changer in terms of what you can accomplish. So definitely check out The E-Myth Revisited by Michael E. Gerber. Now, the second, and probably now what I would count as probably my favorite book on operations and scale, is this book called Traction by Gino Wickman. Now, this book, in tandem to the book Scaling Up, and I think Scaling Up was probably the one I read first, but Scaling Up is really geared towards the larger organizations, $20 million plus organizations, how to systematize, how to put meeting rhythms in place. But Traction is made for the small, medium-sized business, $1 million to $5 million and more per year. And it really underlines what EOS, the Entrepreneur Operating System, is. And reading this book was a game changer in the way that we operate at our agency, Plumbing and HVAC SEO, the way that we show agencies to grow and scale through the 7-figure agency. And it really talks about the key things you need to put in place in terms of scorecards, leadership team, meeting rhythms. I've got another video I recently uploaded around level 10 meetings and the meeting rhythms that will make your company extremely effective and extremely organized. But if you're serious about taking your agency to multiple 7 figures and possibly even 8 figures and beyond, this will be a great foundation on how to implement EOS and to get true traction within your business. Okay, so that was number 1. Number 2 is this book, Clockwork, by Mike Michalowicz. And I'm a huge fan of Mike Michalowicz. He's got another book called Profit First, which almost all digital marketing agencies should read, and to make sure that every dollar you get within your business has a profit associated with it, and really being intentional about profitability. But his second book, maybe more than that, but his second really popular book here is called Clockwork. And what he talks about in this book is truly the process to do what E-Myth talks about, which is how do we put systems, procedures in place so that we could hand our operations off to somebody and be able to move on in our business, be able to take, I think the outcome that he's looking for is you'd be able to leave the business for an entire month without checking in, without doing anything, and have the business continue to grow in your absence. And he really has some great insights on how to build those systems, procedures, and simplify our operations to make that a reality. Highly recommend you read this one. Highly recommend you check it out. And then number 3, the newest book on this topic, and really my favorite because it culminates the concepts of all 4, is Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. And what's really cool about this book is Dan takes the concepts for all of these and what he's used in his business to grow to multiple 7 figures and kind of how he removed himself from the operation and made it so that he could focus on what he does best. I was able to have Dan come and do a private workshop for the 7-figure agency members, and they absolutely loved it. But what I really like best about Buying Back Your Time is he's got a very simplified process for creating playbooks. So what was referred to in all of these other books as SOPs, standard operating procedures, complicated documents, he refers to as playbooks. And you want to have playbooks for each of the different areas within your business, from sales, marketing, operations, accounting. And he's got a very nice, elegant process for how to create those procedures, those playbooks within your business. And he talks about 3 key mechanisms. Number 1 is the camcorder method, which really, as the entrepreneur, maybe the person that's kind of training your team, you're usually good at doing it, but you haven't created the step-by-step. And so what he encourages you to do is to record yourself with Loom or with some other recording mechanism and just record yourself doing the process. And then you can use AI, or you could use a human being or somebody else that's a little more systems oriented to come behind that video and create the coursework. Like, okay, these are the different things explained in the video that walk you step by step through how to implement this playbook. And then the third element of a playbook is your checklist, which is, okay, out of all of that stuff, these are the 5 or 6 key things you would want to check off to make sure you actually implemented that playbook correctly. And so we've recently rolled this out into our agency. We're doing a session with our group at the 7-figure agency on creating playbooks for each of the different aspects within your business at our upcoming intensive. What's beautiful about it is the new person that comes into the role that's just trying to figure out, okay, I've got to do the SEO strategy for the client. The first time they can watch the video, the Loom video, the camcorder method, and be immersed in, okay, these are the clicks and these are the steps and this is the thought process. But nobody's going to watch a video every time they do something. So the next time they can come in and just watch the course material and just like, what are the things? Okay, I remember we got to do this and we got to do that, and they can get the gist of it just by looking at the course section. But ultimately, once someone starts to get good at their role, they're not going to watch the video every time. They're certainly not going to check the coursework. But if we've got a simple checklist of the main things they need to make sure they did to ensure they did it correctly, then we can consistently get things done really, really well within our business. And so lots of great insights from this book, Buy Back Your Time. My favorite is the idea and the concept behind creating playbooks to remove yourself and your team from the processes so that you can do a couple things. So that you can get the work done without being tethered to it. You can consistently deliver world-class service. And as your company grows, as somebody leaves the organization, as somebody steps into a different role, you can ensure consistency because it's easy to transfer any of those playbooks to the next person that steps in to that function. And so these are my 3 favorite books with a prerequisite on the E-Myth Revisited. Let me know in the comments, is there some other book on operations and scale that you got massive benefit from that helped you grow and scale your agency? Let me know which of these are your favorite and kind of what some of your favorite takeaways are from these fantastic, fantastic books. If you'd like more insights specifically on how to scale your digital marketing agency, I want to encourage you to go to 7figureagency.com/scale. In that training and in that workbook, I provide you with the key things you want to think about and the key roles you're going to want to hire for, the key job descriptions, and how to structure your accountability chart, your organizational chart, so that you can truly grow and scale your digital marketing agency to make more money, have more freedom, and have a bigger impact. So you can access that by going to 7figureagency.com/scale or hit the QR code. If you got value from this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you can hear other videos that I'll be rolling out on landing clients, delivering results, retention, and scale. And if you've got follow-up questions or thoughts, post them in the comments. That's it for now. Have an amazing day, and I can't wait to hear how you're scaling your agency to the moon and beyond. I'll talk to you soon.